Hi, welcome back to my channel. In my last video, I presented the meaning and relevance of remedial teaching in learning recovery. Today, I am going to show you the principles of remedial teaching and learning. Are you familiar with acrostics? Litcharts.com defines it as a piece of writing in which a particular set of letters, typically the first letter of each line, word, or paragraph, spells out a word or phrase with special significance to the text.
P is for planned remedial lessons. R is to recognize the educational characteristics of the targeted learners. I is to identify pupils' deficiencies through diagnosis. N is for new orientation towards the backward subject. C is for continuous guidance and consideration of their difficulties. I is to impart clear and straightforward directions. P is for parents' cooperation. L is for learning activities are varied and meaningful. E is for enrich learning interests and motivation. And S is to stimulate corrective or confirmative feedback. Let me discuss these principles one by one. P is for planned remedial lessons. We are fully aware of Benjamin Franklin's quote, by failing to plan, you are preparing to fail. We want to avoid that. That is why we need to lay out learning or remedial activities. This plan will be our guide to meet our target, to mainstream our learners in their present grade level. R is to recognize the educational characteristics of the targeted learners. Learners are diverse. Even pupils with learning gaps have different levels of difficulties and academic progress. Teachers must be sensitive to these characteristics to provide appropriate remediation activities to an individual or group of learners. They must let the learners enjoy the pacing of the lesson and use their learning style. I is to identify pupils' deficiencies through diagnosis. Perhaps your principal asks you to administer the diagnostic test on the different subject areas. That test must be designed to identify the least mastered or unmastered skills. These skills will be your target competencies for remediation. N is for new orientation toward the backward subject. Remember, remediation can be different from the regular class. Teachers must create materials and use flexible methods and strategies. C is continuous guidance and consideration of their difficulties. Remedial teachers must be patient. Perhaps they must double their considerations when pupils fail to attain a certain competency. They need continuous help to the point that they can independently move on. I is to impart clear and straightforward directions. Given the fact that students with learning gaps experience difficulties in understanding written language, the teachers must provide verbal instructions which can be understood by the learners. P is for parents' cooperation. Pupils need a follow-up at home. One of the keys to a successful remediation program in our class is the active involvement of parents. The teacher may discuss in a meeting the remediation plan of the class, orient them of their roles, and get their commitment. The parents can make sure that take home remedial activities are satisfactorily completed. L is for learning activities that are varied and meaningful. Teachers must devise various learning activities with the same teaching objectives because pupils have different characteristics in learning. Simple and attainable activities can be prepared rather than longer ones that are difficult to finish. Learning activities can be meaningful if the children can relate to them. For example, the teacher can use a game or personalized learning. E is to enrich learning interests and motivation. Consider that the children have suffered from learning loss. If they experience frustration in remedial instruction, they might gradually lose interest in learning. That should not happen. Let the children feel the success in learning. Reward them if possible. Recognize their progress and encourage them to contribute as they feel the warmth of the teacher. S is to stipulate corrective and confirmative feedback. The teachers must tell the pupils the progress of remediation. Ask them about the difficulties and problems they are encountering. Provide corrective measures when needed. Verify their performance. Recognize early success. And praise them for their achievement.
So those are the principles principles of remedial teaching. Are you ready to observe these principles in your remedial program? I guess you can. Alright, till next video. Bye!